Hey, greetings, welcome back. Appreciate you stopping by. Hey, I got this '05 Tacoma here, and came in customer complaining of a suspension type kind of clunk in the vehicle, and after looking things over, we've determined that the left front strut assembly has some issues. The actual shock cartridge is leaking. The strut mounting bracket appears to be a little loose and making a noise. It's like a spring noise under certain conditions. I was able to duplicate the noise when I had it just sitting on the ground, just kind of pull down on it, clong, clong, clong. Also would make the noise when the customer's doing turning maneuvers, parking lot stuff at slow speeds. So anyway, thought I'd make a quick vid about throwing on replacement strut assemblies on the front. We're going to replace it with the entire assembly with the coil spring and mount and everything on it. I'm using a Monroe strut assembly. There's a number for the left front on this. It's just, like I said, a complete strut assembly, so you're not having to individually replace parts. It's also convenient because you don't have to compress the spring or worry about that. So it might be a helpful thing to look into for a DIY person. Not that, without a strut spring compressor, you can't, or with a strut spring compressor, you can't safely do the job. Just cost effective for us at this point, given the additional labor charges and parts. We are in Alaska. I do like the KYB brand struts. We unfortunately only had one for one side, and I am going to do both. So I went with the Monroe, which is a quality product. So regardless, it's going to work out fine. I'm also going to do an alignment on this. You don't have to. It doesn't really affect the alignment other than, spring height is going to change slightly, even until that spring settles down. So it wouldn't be a bad thing to do an alignment. However, we're not going to actively change caster and camber, at least by removing the adjusters on the control arms or anything like that. So you could do this without an alignment. I would recommend it, though. You're going to change that slightly, especially if you're going to go with a new spring that raises it. You can get kits with the strut assembly that actually lift it, and you'd want to do front and rear if that was the case. But anyway, it's a pretty quick job. Pays like 2.4 hours labor by the book. You can get it done quicker than that. I've of course got a lift and air tools. I've already got it supported on the lift. Got the suspension kind of hanging down, unloaded, and that makes it a little bit easier. But I am working with a 50-plus-year-old back that's pretty trashed out, so I need all the help I can get. Anyway, I do appreciate you coming along, and we'll get started on this. I'm going to go ahead and pull this tire off and get to it. The sway bar link, you want to pull this sway bar link off. Just remove this nut here, which in this case is 17 millimeter. Let's use a wrench to lock that stud down. Found that it helps to remove these two sway bar bracket bolts so that the sway bar can be kind of moved out of the way enough for the strut assembly to drop out. Just 14 millimeter. moves out of the way far enough to get the strut out. Okay, now we move to the top of the strut here. There's 3 mounting bolts for the upper strut mount. I like to kind of clean those off, get the dirt off them, and maybe a little bit of penetrant on there. Just because I use a ratcheting wrench to remove those, and it helps to get the threads cleaned up. Okay, now we remove the lower strut mount bolt. I would just kind of pry the strut out of the lower control arm. Easier said than done. Careful not to damage the CV boot while you're doing this. There we go. I forgot about the tie rod end. We need to knock this off. Take the tie rod end out. First by removing the cotter pin here. Right here. Oh, crud. Not supposed to bend that. Straighten that out a bit. Okay, that should give us enough room to drop our strut out of there. So you can see the strut here. See that it's leaking down inside there. So we're going to replace it. Okay, we just need to reverse The installation procedures. Use the supplied replacement mounting nuts. On the upper mount. Pry it back into position. Put our lower mounting bolt in. You're going to put your washer on, your nut. And we're going to torque the lower strut mount to 74 foot-pounds and those uppers to 15, which is kind of difficult just to get a torque wrench in there. Reinstall the tie rod end, the castellated nut. Now lightly center down and torque it to 67 foot-pounds. And then line up the cotter pin by tightening it more, a little bit more. Install a replacement cotter pin. Now we reinstall the sway bar link and that gets torqued to 52 foot-pounds at the steering knuckle. And our sway bar bracket, which gets torqued to 30 pounds, sway bar bracket to frame. Okay, now we'll go ahead and install our wheel. Okay, I'll go ahead and lower this down, torque the wheels of course, and then we're going to perform an alignment on it. I did the other side before I came to this side, so I'd be practiced up. It looked like I knew what I was doing, even though I'm not sure I did. But I do appreciate you watching. Hope this video was helpful. If you find that it was, please subscribe to our channel and check out the next video from the Car Doctor. We really appreciate you. And wish you good luck with your repairs. Take care.